Hey guys, today we're going to learn to do some paper weaving, and we're going to be turning our weavings into these houses. So first step, you're going to need your rectangle piece of paper and your ruler, and I'm using a Sharpie so that you can see better, but you can use a pencil as well. So at the top of your paper, line up the edge of your ruler with the edge of your paper, and everywhere you see a big number, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we're going to put a mark on our paper right at the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is at the very end, so we don't really have to mark that one because our paper is 6 inches long. After you do the top, you're not going to flip your paper over, you're going to scoot it to the bottom. And we're going to do the exact same thing at the bottom of our paper. So everywhere you see a big number, you're going to make a little mark. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, next step, we're going to use our ruler to connect those lines from top to bottom. So we are going to match up the top of our ruler with this mark and the bottom of our ruler with this mark and draw a straight line. And you're going to do that all the way across your paper. So when you finish, you should only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines. If you have any more than that, it's going to make it a little bit more complicated to weave. So 5 lines. Once you're finished drawing those, you're going to fold your paper in half. After you've folded your paper, you're going to pick up your scissors and you're going to be cutting along these lines. Now it's really important that you start from the folded edge and not the open edge. If you do it from the open edge, your weaving is not going to work. So make sure that you're starting at the bottom where the fold is. We're going to cut on each line. But right before you get to the top, you're going to stop because you don't want to cut your paper in half. So right at the top, we're going to stop with our scissors. Keep going all the way across your paper on all 5 lines. Once you cut your paper, you're going to open it up, and you're going to need a bunch of these different colored paper strips. So this rectangular part of the weaving is called the warp, and these colored paper strips are called the weft. So we're going to pick up our first piece of the weft, and we're going to be weaving in a pattern over, under, over, under. It doesn't matter what you start with. You could start over or under. I'm going to start under. So I'm going to go underneath this first piece of my weaving, over the next one, under, over, under, over. And you might have a little bit of extra, and that's okay because we're going to cut it off at the end. I'm going to go ahead and scoot my weaving down. Now the next piece is kind of tricky, and you really have to pay attention to what you just did before because you're going to be doing the opposite this time. So this piece of paper went under, over, under, over, under, over. So this next piece of weft is going to go over, under, over, under. So we're starting over this first piece, under the next one, over, under, just like that. If you're doing it correctly, you're going to see that you have a checkerboard pattern starting on your warp. All right, so let's try it again with the darker pink. Again, we're going to do the opposite of whatever we did last. So this piece of paper went over, under, over, under. So this one has to go under, over. So there's pink paper right here, so that means we don't want to have 2 pink papers side by side. So you're going to go under, over, under, over. So let me show you what it looks like if you accidentally mess up and you don't weave the opposite. So this pink piece we just did, this dark pink piece, goes under, over, under, over. So if we take this piece and go the same way, under, over, here's what it's gonna look like. So instead of having a checkerboard pattern, the two pieces are gonna look side by side, and this lets you know that you've messed up. So you can take that piece back out and try it again, where we're actually supposed to go the opposite, so over, under, over, under. So once you finish weaving all of your weft, you're probably gonna have some extra pieces hanging off the side. You can trim those off, but first, take your glue stick and find the edge of all your weft pieces, lift them up, and put a little glue down there so that they do not fall out while you are working on your artwork. Okay, so now that we've finished our weaving, you're gonna grab your blue background paper and you can decide if you want your house to go up and down vertically or if you want it to go side to side horizontally. And this is where you're gonna start adding all the details to make it look like a house. But first, make sure that you write your name on your background paper. And pick up your glue stick and glue your weaving down to your background. If you want to make something symmetrical, like the roof of your house, you can use one of your scrap pieces of paper and fold it in half. Grab your scissors, and when you cut on the fold, it's going to make it symmetrical, meaning the same on both sides. So this is an easy way to make the roof or the windows or the door or anything like that that you want to be the same.